What is up, FBG fam? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another Genshin Impact video, and welcome to episode 2 of the unofficial podcast for Genshin Impact. That is right, we're going to make this an official thing here on the channel because I got great feedback from you guys stating that you do like this podcasty style, and it's something that I've been wanting to do here on the channel anyways for quite some time. So this is going to be episode 2 of the unofficial podcast for Genshin Impact, the world's #1 unofficial podcast for Genshin Impact. Can you believe the ego on this guy? I know it's astounding. Anyways, what you can expect on this podcast is we're going to be talking about news, drama, everything related to Genshin Impact that is newsworthy. We're going to be covering that here on the podcast. Also, the podcast is sponsored by Gamer Subs. GG Subs. There will be a link in the description down below. Go ahead and click that link, get 10% off everything in the store. There's 3 brand new waifu shaker cups that just dropped. Make sure you grab them. They're collectibles for a limited time only, as well as you get the samples that you see there as well. And they have merch, they have great subs to keep you energized so that way you can farm all day long for resources and get yourself ready for Kokomi when she drops. Speaking about Kokomi, that is what we're going to be talking about in today's podcast. Also, if you guys have any content creators, anybody that you want to see or hear on the podcast, go ahead and link them down below, comment down below, share the podcast with other people, go ahead and tag them, whatever the case may be, because I do want to get other people on this podcast show so we can have a really good time, have different opinions and differencing thoughts and whatnot. Also, this podcast is going to be very opinionated, pretty straightforward and blunt, and it's just going to be a good time overall. It's as if we're shooting the shit, sitting down on the couch, talking about Genshin Impact together, and as if we're friends, family, whatever you want to call it. You're a bunch of demi-archons. I love each and every one of you. Let's get into what this episode is all about today, and that is Saga no Miya Kokomi, and if you should pull for her or save for some reruns. And I'm super excited about this episode because miHoYo went ahead and dropped some information about Kokomi on their official website, as well as they dropped the trailer, which I want to get your guys' opinion about the trailer down in the comments below. I thought it was a good teaser trailer. The animation looked great. I liked what they did. Was it the best one? I don't think so. I think there were better ones, but nonetheless, I thought it was still really nice. I thought they did a good job, and then I cannot wait to see her actual trailer when that drops. It should be really good. Hopefully they do an amazing job like they always do. Anyways, like I mentioned, miHoYo dropped official information about Kokomi on their official website. Basically what they normally drop whenever a new character is about to enter the game. And the one thing I did want to quickly mention, I'm not going to go over everything because you can read it for yourself, but one thing I did want to mention, I think they did a really good job with their basic or normal attacks, because there's just a little things that go a long way with me anyways. And what I mean by that is with her normal attacks, it looks like as if she's swimming, right? Underwater. It's as if she's underwater with her like mermaidness, if that's even a word. I don't think it is, but it looks great. I think they did a great job with this normal attack, and I do really like it. And once again, I'm not going to go into detail about what it does. You guys can read that for yourself. They do have the elemental skill, which has that jellyfish, which is really nice because it procs some damage. You get some healing back, applies the hydro, all that good stuff that you want from the elemental skill. Really good stuff right there. And then we do have the elemental burst, which I think her elemental burst is going to hit like a truck, and I think it's going to do really good damage. I think it's going to be a great elemental burst. And basically you see a reoccurring theme with her kit where all of her scaling and damage is going to be off of her max HP. So when she's in her elemental burst, you get normal charge attacks, and her elemental skill damage is increased by her max HP. She's going to restore HP for the party members, which is really nice, and she's going to be able to walk on water. That's where all the Jesus Kokomi references are coming from in all the memes. So that is that. Then you have the story, the hearsay, all that good stuff, and then the Coco supremacy, and oh my goodness, what do we have there? Anyways, so we have Saga no Miya Kokomi that's going to be dropping in the game, and I'm going to go ahead and say this right off the bat. I'm going to give you guys my opinion on this character. And I mentioned this before, I gave my opinions before, but I think this character is going to be really strong. I think this character is going to be really good. The thing about these characters recently with Inazuma, and I mentioned this before as well, is that they're very unique. They do different things, they're not cookie cutter. And I like that about these characters. I like that they're doing things that are different, miHoYo. That they're creating these characters differently. But is Kokomi going to be anything that we don't have in the game already in terms of healing, in terms of damage, hydro application? I don't think so, because The thing is with Kokomi, it's as if MiHoYo decided to take like great aspects of different characters that we have in the game already and just combine it into one character, Sagonomiya Kokomi. And what I mean by that is with her healing, her hydro application, her damage, it's like a mixture of like Barbara and Mona. If you were to just mash those two characters together, you get Sagonomiya Kokomi. Let me know what you guys think about that in the comments down below. And like I mentioned, this podcast is very opinionated based, very subjective opinion of mine. So this is just what I'm thinking, and I want to get your guys' opinion down below on what you think. But that's just what I'm seeing from this character right now in terms of her kit and what she's bringing to the table. I think she's going to be fantastic. I think she's going to be a lot better than what most people think. But do you need to go ahead and grab this character if there are possible reruns coming after her, which I think they are. I think after Kokomi, we're going to have some reruns. And I think reruns that we can be expecting specifically, in my opinion, I think I'm leaning towards a Ganyu rerun. Now, it could be Albedo, it could be Hu Tao, it could be Xiao, but I'm really leaning towards Ganyu. Any of those characters are kind of like in the running because, right, we already had Zhongli, we had Child, we had Venti, we had Klee. We had those characters rerun already. So the ones that are in the general vicinity to get a rerun that should be right in line coming up next is Albedo, Ganyu, Xiao, Hu Tao. Those characters should be getting a rerun here relatively soon. And I think their rerun, I think we're going to be getting rerun banners for those characters after Kokomi. I don't think we're going to be getting any new characters after Kokomi. I think it's going to be Kokomi and then after her some reruns. So that begs the question is, should you pull for Kokomi or should you save for these rerun banners? Well, there's a few things that you need to go ahead and always consider, take into account, and what I preach and recommend, and I think most content creators do as well, is that when Kokomi drops, don't pull for her right away. It's, you know, I know there's people that are anticipating her and really wanting her and whatnot. You have your Kokomi supremacy, but the recommendation, especially for free-to-play players and light spenders, is to test her out first. Test run the character to see if you like her, because there may be a situation where you're really anticipating this character, you really want her to drop, you really want to obtain her, but then you test her out and you don't really enjoy her gameplay style, you don't really enjoy her normal attacks, they just don't fit your style of play. And I can use some examples of where that occurred for me specifically. One prevalent situation for me anyways is with Xiao. Now, when I first saw Xiao, this is before Genshin Impact even released, and this is where you were able to go on the Genshin Impact website for MiHoYo and be able to see the characters before the game even dropped. And I saw Xiao, and I was like, this character I have to have on my account. I have to have this character because he looked awesome, and he still does. He's one of the best looking characters in the game, character design standpoint wise, and I just had to have him, right? And then I officially obtained him, and I rarely use him because his gameplay style doesn't really fit my own. I just don't really like the way he plays, personally. Now, the same is said for Keqing for me as well. Keqing was another character that I saw before the game even dropped on the website that I was like, I have to have this character. I need this character. She needs to be on my account. And then I obtained her, and she's still level 50 for me. I barely use her, and that's because her gameplay style just doesn't fit my own. I don't like it. It feels kind of clunky to me. I just don't enjoy using her as a character. So these are things that you have to consider. Another one was Albedo, but not as much as like Xiao and Keqing. But Albedo, I just never liked his gameplay style, so I never really got him leveled up. Even though all of these characters are absolutely fantastic in their own right, and they're amazing, they just don't fit my gameplay style. I don't like using them, so I'm not going to, and they're rarely ever used. And that could be said the same for Sagonomiya Kokomi. Even though you're really anticipating this character, you really like her, and you want her to drop so you can grab her. If you don't like using her, if you don't like the way her normal attacks feel, if you don't like the way her elemental skill or elemental burst feels, then you're rarely ever going to use this character because she doesn't fit your gameplay style. So always test run these characters first to see if you like them in game. And then after you test run them and you get a feel from them, then you can decide. Also, another recommendation is just wait a few days, because there's always the opportunity of news to be released about what's coming after Kokomi. And we may get hints of whatever rerun might be coming or whatever banner's coming next. And if that's a Ganyu rerun or a Hu Tao rerun, man, you may want to save, especially if you missed them out on the first time around, and obtain one of these characters. Ganyu is arguably still one of the best characters in the game. She offers so much. Her utility is great, and she outputs tremendous amount of damage. Hu Tao can be the same. She's one of the best pyro characters that you can obtain in the game. She's absolutely fantastic and self-sufficient. These are characters that you might want to be saving for if you missed out on them the first time around. So Kokomi, as good as I think she's going to be, and I think she's going to be absolutely fantastic, and I think she's going to be extremely prevalent because of her healing. It's going to be top tier. Her damage is going to be exceptional. I think better than what most people think. And she's going to be able to fit on most team comps, if not any, because of her Hydro application, the elemental reactions you're going to be able to get off, and everything else that she brings to the table. I think she's going to be phenomenal. And if you pull for her, I think you're pulling a great character. But there might be some other options that you might be interested in that you may just want to hold out a little bit, not pull day one when the character drops, and just wait a little bit. That's just my recommendation, my 2 cents on the matter. Let me know what you think about that. So with that all being said, I think Kokomi is going to be a fantastic character. I think she's going to be an amazing character. I think she's going to be really good. But just hold out, especially if you're a light spender or free to play. If you are a whale, Leviathan, Megalodon, if you fit into any of those categories, you do what you want at your account. Go for it. Have fun. Enjoy your Kokomi. Go crazy on Watasumi Island. But if you're a light spender, if you're free to play, just hold out a little bit, kind of just see what's going on, see what might be coming down the pipeline, see if there's any new characters that might be dropping, whether it be a 5-star or 4-star, see which reruns coming out, and see the value of that banner. And, you know, let content creators test out Kokomi as well. Let them, you know, utilize her, find out some things about her, kind of test her out, because the thing about Kokomi is that I think people are still kind of on the fence of how good she really is going to be. I think people are still a little confused about her because she's not so cookie cutter as other characters that have dropped in the game before, so she's not so easy to figure out, much like the Raiden Shogun. So let content creators figure them out first, figure Kokomi out first, and let them test run her and see what her damage output is, and see what her healing is capable of in her Hydro application. See what the elemental reactions are looking like before you go ahead and obtain this character. So that is just my recommendation, guys. That is what I'm thinking. These are my thoughts on the matter at hand, and I don't think you're going to be wrong either way, whether you pull Kokomi and you obtain her, or if you save and you go for a rerun character and then you just wait for Kokomi to come back. I don't think you can go wrong either way, in my opinion. Is Kokomi a must-have? I don't think so. I don't think she's a must-have character that you need to obtain. Most characters are not in the game. But is she going to be great? Yes, I think she's going to be really, really good. And I think she's going to be a lot better than what most people think. But as always, I want to get your guys' thoughts in the comments down below. As well as, once again, if you have anybody you want to see on the podcast, or let me know if you like the podcast. Let me know if you want me to continue doing these or do more of these in the future. I'd be more than happy to. I love giving my opinions on things. I like giving my thoughts on things. And I like hearing your guys' opinions. And trust me, oh boy, you guys give your opinions, right? And I love it. And you guys are always very respectful, cordial, and constructive with them, and that means the world to me, and I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you guys so much for all your support. Thank you for everything that you do, and keep in mind, guys, the quality is going to increase. I promise you that. I do want to increase the quality on the podcast, and we may be doing live stream podcasts as well. Cameo, I see you typing already. You probably already posted a comment. Go ahead and backspace it, delete that comment for me quickly. We're going to be doing live streams as well for podcasting. And let me know if you would prefer live streams or if you prefer the video format style. Anyways, guys, I'm going to go ahead and get on out of here. I appreciate each and every one of you. Remember to stand out, be different, have fun, go further beyond in everything that you do. And until next time, my boys, until next time, it's your homie Cody GT, and I'm out. Bye, guys.